I am the chair of the Harlem Community Development Corporation, which has been in existence since 1995. However, its predecessor, the Harlem Urban Development Corporation, otherwise known as HUDC, was started in 1972, and its mission from that point on has always been to provide economic development and planning for the northern Manhattan area.
Born and raised in the Harlem community. That waterfront location had been abandoned for quite some time, and I felt that it was a good idea to have a park developed from 125th Street back up to 145th Street. At that time, Borough President Ruth Messenger and Mayor David Dinkins were in office at the time, and she had a concept of putting a greenbelt around Manhattan Island. She heard about my idea to put a park over there, so they were merged in that way. Going forward, after the concept was approved by Community Board 11 and in 1990, and then the Harlem River Park Task Force was created in 2002 to advocate for the development of the park.
I am a member of the Harlem River Park Task Force. I live in the Lincoln Houses development at 135th and Madison. We are one of the developments that border the park, which runs from 132nd to 145th Street. I'm on the Resident Association of Lincoln Houses. Recently I was elected to be their Sergeant at Arms in the last election. As far as the park, the concept of the park amazed me in regards to some of the official drawings I saw from the person who had the idea in his mind, and finally it coming to happening in regards to the park being actually built. Amazed me because as a kid growing up in the area, because I did grow up for a short period in the early 60s, my grandma had a very close friend living over that way. I remember when it was desolate in regards to dirt, gravel, nothing over there, nothing. And to see what it is now, it's amazing to see.
The process was incredible. How we came together to send out a call to the artist. How we came together to do the planning every step of the way with the Council Movements Office, Community Board 11, DOT, the Parks Department. It was incredible the number of people that walked through these doors and to our meetings.
Well, the way that we engage public art is through the community, because we believe that the only way to true sustainable economic development is by strengthening the community that is already here. People in the community that had made marks on history. For example, Kenneth and Mamie Clark, Antonia Pantoja. People who were huge educators and in certain circles are very well recognized, but in other circles are not. So we thought, well, this really will get people talking about who these people are, and maybe they'll Google them and Wikipedia them and what have you and learn about them, and then see the tie into the Harlem community and see a deeper level of engagement in the community.
And so my role was to lead the research and innovative brainstorming component of it. And Ricardo's role was to play the role of the landscape architect, incorporating not only those ideas but other ideas to accomplish the intended scope of work, which was primarily a bike path on the edge of the water.
In addition to the tide pools, we have a very strong ecological component of putting the gabions, which is the stainless steel wire mesh basket filled with rocks, as the seawall itself, which creates a lot of porosity, a lot of ecological sustainability. It makes it a much more productive ecosystem. It's enlivened it in terms of the habitat. You've noticed that the fishermen who used to fish a little farther to the south are now fishing right near the gabion because it's now a little more productive fishery, and they're catching more fish. And you also see more seabirds foraging around, which you don't see anywhere else along the Harlem River. You see very few other places. So you've got this ecological aspect, you've got the artistic aspect of the tide pools. I'll grant that they are a very artistic element. And then you have the artistic element of these wonderful, colorful murals, which are very evocative of the neighborhood and the context of East Harlem, of the architecture, of the people, of the colors, of everything that goes on there. And then you have this third aspect of the stainless steel heritage plaques, which were all interpreted by different artists.
Mr. Thomas Lunke, Director of Development and Planning for Harlem CDC. There was a project that he'd been working on for some time, and that's the Harlem River Park. And one of the things that we noticed at Harlem River Park was really a need to beautify and spruce it up. Enter Creative Arts Workshop. And lo and behold, nothing has actually been the same since.
Well, I think, what you're seeing reflected on these murals is important. Because I know in the ones with regards to the Harlem River Park that I saw, you're also talking about individuals that have made contributions to our communities. And it's a lot of times the young people seeing themselves reflected because it's an African American or it's a Latino that has made great contributions. And so it's very affirming to them, and it helps them become more empowered and really comfortable with themselves and being able to express themselves and feel that they have an ability to contribute back to society. And I think that is very important.
It's such a beautiful area. The walkway that goes from 125th Street all the way to 145th Street Bridge. But what makes it so exciting on the walk is the fact that we have beautiful greenery, beautiful walkway, a beautiful area where I can sit and contemplate or meditate. But it's the artwork from the children that gives me the greatest inspiration, and it's because it's becoming from our youth.
And just to see the water, because I like water, being in water, even though I can't swim, but I just like being in water. And then just to sit there and to see the water of the East River, and just your mind just flow. And I had the imagination of just swimming in that East River. My view, my apartment is on the Madison Avenue bridge side. And I have a terrace there, and I have to look left to see the park. And when I see it, I see there's some artwork on the ground. It's a circular area. It's right there between 138th and I'll say 137th Street. And there's a little mural there on the ground. I can see that. And I see the children using the scooter up and down the park. And that reminded me when my nephew comes, he's 7 years old, that I should get a scooter for him, and he would love just riding up and down, with no distraction, just straight up and down with the scooter. And they were having so much fun.
Kids from Harlem, by Harlem, for Harlem, that are participating in the beautification of this neighborhood.